It is Easter Sunday, the 5th of April, 2015. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you once again. Thanks again for hitting that play button on these Western Pacific weather updates yet again, guys. I know you have been giving us a lot of support over the past week and a half when we have been tracking Tropical Storm Maysak. The storm is not over yet, but some good news. We are starting to see it come on shore, and it is much weaker than we were seeing a few days ago when this was a monster typhoon. Also, Tropical Storm Haishen, way out there near Chuk. I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but if you are in the Philippines or any major land masses for that matter, don't really want to worry too much about that. It is going to continue to kind of meander out there before moving off towards the east. But let's talk about our tropical storm Maysak here. This is continuing to weaken here today, and at this time, it's actually barely holding on to that tropical storm status. Winds right around 45, gusting to 65 knots. So you are still seeing some wind gusts upwards of typhoon strength within that center of circulation. But just take a look at the water vapor imagery here. It's very hard to find the center of the circulation. We actually have to pull up the microwave imagery, and you can see a lot of that convection down here towards the south, and one would think that's where kind of the center is, but it's actually a little bit off here towards the north, where we did expect that landfall, just north of Casiguran, and you can see the center right there on the microwave imagery, and I still think we're going to be seeing some fairly gusty winds there along the eastern seaboard. Some high seas are definitely going to be coming out of this, so very dangerous surf conditions right near the coastline. On radar, it's very hard to find that center as well, but we're still going to be seeing those showers come on shore with this, and there is that threat of some localized flooding. Also pulling up ASCAT imagery. This is from the satellite, and as satellite-derived winds, we can still see that wind flow. Now, this was from earlier on this morning. This is a little bit displaced farther there towards the west now, but in some of these areas, you are looking at sustained winds about 35 to 40 knots, enough to toss around some light objects. So right now, the Bagasa has dropped signal force 2 because this storm is continuing to weaken. They're actually calling it a tropical depression at this time. JMA still has it as a tropical storm. They just have signal force 1 in place here for parts of Aurora and Isabella, and expecting to remain in place. Actually, only looking at about 100 to 150 millimeters of rainfall there in northeastern portions of Luzon. Manila, you're really missing out on the most of this storm system once it tracks overhead here and just off there towards the north. When we take a look at the rest of the track here on Sunday going through Monday, it just races right over Luzon. By Monday morning, conditions rapidly clear out here, and then eventually it just dies into the South China Sea. So the biggest topic is going to be through the rest of Sunday. We're still looking at some heavy rainfall and the threat of some dangerous surf, especially there in northeastern portions of Luzon, well towards the north of Manila and surrounding cities there, farther down there towards the south into the NCR. But for those of you in the northeastern coastline, you have been preparing. The storm is here now, and it's already starting to kick up the winds, and the heavy rainfall signal force 1 has been issued. Key thing with this one, a lot of people are traveling today. I know I sound like a broken record because I have said this numerous times over the last several days. People are going to be traveling today, and you just want to be smart about what you do when the storm system comes overhead. It's not a catastrophic super typhoon. I know it was a week, no, say about 4 to 5 days ago. It really was by midweek, but it has weakened out. So I wouldn't be running for the hills just yet, but if you do travel across this area, be aware of that threat of landslides and even some low-lying localized flooding. All right, so let's pull back the picture once again here. We have our storm system coming on shore here in the Philippines. I do want to mention our other storm way off there towards the east. This is Haishen. Haishen right now, you can see the forecast track over the next several days. It's just going to linger. The big thing is that it is still continuing to bring some winds and even the threat of some passing showers there into Chuk. You're still under a state of emergency. This weather is definitely not needed. And when we have a storm system just lingering out there, it is just going to be bringing some foul weather to an area which is still recovering from Maysak. A week ago, last Sunday, that's when that storm system's eye moved right over this island. By no means is this going to be a similar case. This is still a low-end tropical storm, wind 65, gusting to 95 kilometers per hour. Very disorganized as far as tropical systems go. We have a lot of exposure along the western periphery. Most of the convection is off there towards the east. It's just barely holding on that tropical storm intensity vice. When Maysak moved ahead, it was a typhoon, and we were seeing winds. Well, at the time, it was considered Category 1, but videos we were seeing out of there looks a lot higher than that. This is just going to be more or less kicking the island while it's down with this tropical system. Even here in mid-April, this is still very unusual to see this type of storm this far here towards the east. So something we're going to continue to watch over the next several days. Take a look at this. We had a lunar eclipse out there. Here across the Philippines, a lot of people were sending in their images of that event here on your Saturday evening. Now on Sunday, do enjoy your Easter holiday, but if you are out here once again there in the northeastern portions of Luzon, be safe about it with our tropical system moving overhead. All right, guys, that is all for me right now. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, yes, please post them down there in the comment box below. Actually, I would highly, please highly suggest if you have any reports of the weather in your area, or if you have any photos you do want to share, check out our Facebook page. Please share them. I'll try to get them into some of these video updates. Plus, if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see in these videos, I really appreciate that feedback. All right. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.